This is problem 78 from page 213, and we're looking at a piecewise graph made up of pieces of different kinds of functions, and the directions are to determine the intervals of the domain for which the function is increasing, decreasing, and constant. When it says determine the intervals of the domain, it means intervals of x values. So tell the x values where certain things are happening. Tell the x values where the function is increasing. In other words, where the y values are increasing. And that means as the x moves from left to right, the y values are increasing or going up. And tell the x values where the y values are decreasing. And then tell the x values where the y values are constant, meaning not increasing or decreasing, staying the same. Okay, so let's work on increasing first. So we're looking for the section of the graph where the y values move up as the x goes from left to right. So if we're looking at this area right here, notice that as x moves from left to right, the y values are going up. You have to ignore this arrow right here. That arrow makes you think that the graph is going down, but you're not worried about that. You're just looking at what happens as you move from left to right. Now to write the interval. Okay, so from x equals what to x equals what do we have for this piece of the graph? It looks like it goes on toward negative infinity and it stops at x equals 1. So for part A, the y values are increasing from negative infinity to 1. You can't put a closed bracket around infinity or negative infinity. It's always an open bracket. But because of this closed circle here, we could put a closed bracket around the 1. Now let's look at the interval for which the function is decreasing. So we're looking at the graph as the x values move from left to right, the y values are going down, and that would be this section right here. So what is the interval of x values? It's starting here at x equals 4 and going on to the right toward infinity. And again, we can include the 4 because of this closed circle right here. So we can say 4 to infinity. And now for part C, the y values for which, the x values for which the y values are constant. So we have a constant section right here. It's a constant height. And that would be from x equals 1 to x equals 4. If we include the endpoints, we've included them twice. We've included them in the previous answers as well as here. That's a bit redundant. We could write that if we want, or we could say 1 to 4 because they've already been included somewhere else. I wouldn't be too picky about that.